There is a lot of chatter about design thinking within the business community. But what does that have to do? What does design thinking have to do with nonprofits? Is there a way for nonprofits to take advantage of design thinking? Or is it this kind of like a business only kind of term that really doesn't have much to do with nonprofits? Well, hey, stick around. In this video, we're gonna look at 5 ways that design thinking can help you and your nonprofit starting right now. Hey, thanks for swinging by. My name is Kevin Rhodes, and this channel is really focused on helping leaders unlock new ways to deliver value. And I share with you my 20+ years of experience helping leaders just like you do just that. My hope is that this helps bring awareness to the nonprofit community on ways that you can take advantage of design thinking. Now, I've been working with nonprofits really my entire life. My dad is an executive director at a nonprofit. I've been a volunteer, a donor, I consult with nonprofits, and they have just had a really big influence on my work, the way I think, and the way I live. And as I'm working with nonprofits, I'm finding that there is a big gap between the way that the business community embraces design thinking and the way that the nonprofits are even aware of design thinking. So this video is to help nonprofits. So if you are an executive director or maybe you work at a nonprofit, this is hopefully a way for you to take advantage of some of the things that design thinking has to offer. Before we jump in, I just want to recognize that there are a ton of different types of nonprofits. There are service-based nonprofits, those that feed the hungry or maybe provide shelter for the homeless. There are advocacy nonprofits, political affiliated nonprofits. There are education nonprofits. There are nonprofits that aim to deliver a service or organize a group of volunteers to do that. So I just want to recognize there are all sorts of different nonprofits, and design thinking can help your nonprofit, regardless of the type of nonprofit that you are. If you're not familiar with what design thinking is, check out this video that I put together on the definition, or my definition, if you will, of design thinking as a good place to start. But really what you need to come away with is that design thinking is an approach to problem solving that leverages design methodologies. And that might be a little confusing term, design methodologies, right? So the primary one that gets kind of applied to design thinking is a human-centered design approach. That approaches problem solving through the human lens, through the person that needs the problem solved. So through approaching it through that worldview, that framework. So with that, let's take a look at 5 ways that design thinking can help your nonprofit right now, coming from that human-centered approach. First up, design thinking can help you better understand those that you're delivering service to. So if you're a service-based nonprofit, again, if you are feeding the hungry or providing shelter for the homeless, or maybe you are providing needs and resources, medical resources to your community, there are the individuals that consume your services. In the business world, we often refer to that type of player within the ecosystem, a customer. You can think of these individuals as customers if that's helpful. Otherwise, think of them in the context in which you provide your services to. Design thinking would put you on a path towards understanding the value that you deliver through their eyes, through their perspective. So it might push you along a path that actually follows alongside of someone who is using your services. So that's one way, one perspective that design thinking can help you engage those you're serving to better understand who you're serving. Now, as far as organizations go, this next group of people that design thinking can help you connect with or help you understand better is really unique, and that is the donor. So if you have individuals that are consuming your service, that really parallels well with what the business world might call a customer. Donors are a very unique thing to nonprofits. And you know this. You know that they have a unique set of considerations, the unique set of concerns. And design thinking can help you better understand the donors. It can help you better understand the motives of why someone would give of themselves to your organization, whether it's their time or their treasure. And design thinking, it can help you understand what provokes someone to make a donation, what kinds of activities that you as an organization do to ensure that the relationship continues with that donor. Design thinking can be a really effective tool for strengthening the relationship with your donor base and acquiring new donors as well. So that's approach number 2 that design thinking can help with your nonprofit. Most nonprofits are constantly trying to figure out new and better ways to really foster those relationships with those donors, whether it's the small donor or the big donor, whether it's that one-time gift or whether that's reoccurring gift. This next group of individuals that design thinking can help you get to know better and serve better is, again, really unique to the nonprofit space. Volunteers are also really unique. Some organizations really utilize volunteer base, whether you're pulling together members of your community to complete a job. Maybe it's build a home or a park, or in my local community, there's a lot of effort towards building a trail system. So if you're organizing a lot of volunteers, it is often really easy to forget that the volunteers have a very different set of concerns from those that kind of fit in that customer world, those that are using your services. So if you have a food pantry, you have individuals that use the services, but you might have individuals that volunteer their time to organize shelves and to make sure the place is clean and that inventory is taken care of. Well, the volunteer is a very different type of person within your organization than those that are utilizing your services. And it's easy to forget that they have a unique set of motivations. They have a unique set of concerns. So design thinking can help you understand why people volunteer, what makes for a better volunteer experience. It can help you kind of refocus on getting the maximum value out of people's effort, not only for your organization, but for them as an individual. What satisfies them and really brings them to life when they show up to volunteer within your organization. Design thinking can help you unlock that. This next group of people often gets overlooked when we think about how to maximize value within an organization, but they have a unique and very strategic and powerful role to play within nonprofits. And that, of course, is your board. You can leverage design thinking within your organization to craft a board strategy, to identify new ways to bring more value within the board by identifying either new capabilities that might be needed, identifying new relationships that might need to establish, uncover relationships that exist within the board. Design thinking can be an effective tool to explore and discover the unique capabilities that your board brings to the table. And of course, it can be used to help identify gaps within your board. So it might help you identify places where you need to strengthen board capabilities or maybe bring new board members in. Design thinking can be a really effective tool to get eyes on the strategic levers within the board. It can be really easy to overlook how those board members all work together, what kind of influence and relationships that they have within the community that could be beneficial for you and your organization. And the 5th way that design thinking can help your nonprofit starting right now, and that is to strengthen and understand your team, your staff better. And there's so much work being done over the last 5-10 years that focus so much on the employee experience and how when we enrich the employee experience that is a direct translation between the employee experience and the customer experience, or the employee experience and the donor experience. So strengthening those relationships, you can use design thinking to help you get a better understanding of how your team performs, what new capabilities might you need to bring on board. Design thinking is an effective tool to explore those areas and use those insights to make a better employee experience, which of course then translates all across your organization. So there are 5 ways that design thinking can help you and your organization, your nonprofit right now. And yeah, they all come from a user perspective. They all come from the types of roles or the types of individuals that you likely have within your organization, within your nonprofit. And some of those roles, of course, are unique to nonprofits. And so hopefully this just gives you a little insight into how you can use design thinking to bring new value to those you serve. This is just a taste, of course, of the kind of impact that design thinking can have on your organization. I encourage you to explore ways that you could take advantage of this way of working, this way of thinking, and look for ways that it can unlock new value in your organization. Now, if you are struggling with where to start or how to really utilize design thinking within your organization, please reach out. I'd love to help. I've been working with nonprofits for decades. I have a sense of the types of unique concerns that you're likely dealing with and have experience applying design thinking and design methodologies to a host of different types of problems. So feel free to reach out. I'd love to chat. And if you've found this helpful, please give a like wherever you're getting this at and hit subscribe. And I look forward to having these conversations with you down the road.